Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Our first stop today is the East Brunswick Public Library, where the Middlesex County chapter of the Brandeis National Committee co-sponsored an event that brought Kelly Whiteside, former Sports Illustrated and USA Today sports writer, to her native East Brunswick to talk about women's roles in the world of sports journalism. Then we join Mayor David Stahl at Mid-State Mall's newest restaurant, Art of Salad, in this week's New Business Spotlight. The new school year is just around the corner, and we will let you know what some of the East Brunswick High School faculty were reading this summer in a new segment of Read This Book. Then Patrolman Craig Hoover visits the studio for a Street Smart segment dealing with the Project Medicine Drop, a safe and easy way for residents to dispose of old and unneeded prescription drugs. All this, plus we have highlights from the summer concert series as the British invasion took over the Community Arts Center, playing some of the most classic songs from across the pond. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now. The East Brunswick Public Library and the Middlesex County chapter of the Brandeis National Committee sponsored a program that brought Kelly Whiteside, a sports writer for Sports Illustrated and USA Today, as well as an East Brunswick High School graduate, to the library to talk about her career and women's roles in sports. So real quick, Kelly, can you just give us a brief overview about what brought you out here to the library today?
I was here to give a talk just about what's it been like, to have a career in sports journalism as a woman, and just talked a little bit about my experiences. For USA Today, I covered the World Cup and the Olympics, and before that I was a college football writer. So just sort of, I answered questions about issues in sports and talked a little bit about what it was like this year to cover the Olympics and the Boston Marathon.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier that you're actually from East Brunswick, so can you talk a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the world of sports journalism?
Sure. I grew up in East Brunswick, Boston Post Road, off of Dunham's, and I went to St. Bart's for grammar school. My family lived here from 1976 until recently. My mom just moved out, so I've been at the East Brunswick Library many times, not recently. So it was a great place to grow up. I played sports growing up and always loved sports. Went to Rutgers, briefly played soccer, and then got injured and joined the school paper. And then after Rutgers, I went to grad school at Columbia. And there I realized that being a sports writer, you can pretty much write about anything across all social issues, different disciplines, and that really appealed to me to be able to cover the larger issues beyond the game. And
if people may be watching as students and they're interested in sports journalism, what advice would you have for people trying to follow, your path?
My biggest bit of advice would be to get as much experience as possible at your school newspaper, whether it be high school. At St. Bart's we had a grade school paper, and in college I was on the school paper as well. So it's all, in journalism, it's all about that type of practical experience, and having writing clips, or if you're going into broadcasting, to have experience in that world, because it's a craft, but you have to have practical experience in it to really kind of jumpstart your career.
And what do you think the future holds for women in sports journalism?
I think, there's more and more women getting involved in sports journalism. I mean, what's on the flip side, what's happening to the media in general is that the traditional media is getting smaller and smaller. The good thing is that there's a lot of opportunities online and different sports sites. So theoretically, there should be more opportunities for women going forward, which would be a great thing.
And it's been in the news recently, the Spurs just recently hired the first full-time woman coach.
Yeah, that's Becky Hammond. She actually, I covered her when she played for the New York Liberty in the late 90s. That was totally unexpected and wonderful.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, or any parting words or words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. As I'm about to go into teaching full-time, I could use some words of wisdom. But no, it's been a great ride, and it's a tough profession to be in, but fulfilling as well. Historically, the sports department was referred to as the toy department. You had the serious folks in news covering the big issues and serious folks in business, and then you have these guys in sports that just write about games. And what I always try to get across to my students the first day of class that may show up, wearing Knicks hats or Giants jerseys, or that it's not just about that. It's not just the toy department. It's also, writing about things that I just mentioned, and covering sports critically with a critical eye. I mean, covering the fun and the joy of it as well. But it's not just the toy department. And, and I think some kids, are sort of taken aback at first because as a fan, you're sitting in front of the TV cheering, and when you become a sports journalist, there's no cheering in the press box. You kind of, you root for the story as opposed to the team. Or you root for, if you like an athlete that's a good story, you want to see that person do well because you have a connection. So that's one of my first lessons that I try to get across to folks and maybe dispel some myths about what it is to be a sports writer.
Hi, it's Mayor David Stahl with another edition of Business Spotlight. I'm up here at Midstate Mall at the Art of the Salad with Bobby, the owner of this delicious-looking restaurant. I know that you make fantastic salads here. First, let's talk about the inspiration of Art of the Salad.
Well, working here in New Jersey and living here all my life, the choices are somewhat limited. It's a lot of pizza places and Chinese places and nothing really interesting and exciting and sort of contemporary. So I was inspired by places in New York City, bistros and cafes where you can get fresh salads and sandwiches, and I wanted to bring that to New Jersey where I live and work.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's first talk about the salads. One, you've got signature dishes, and then you have the ability for consumers to pick what exactly type of salad they want.
That's right. We have 14 signature salads, covers pretty much everything. About half of our customers make their own. So you pick your lettuce, you pick your protein, veggies, cheese, crunch, dressing, and we chop and mix everything for them.
All right, let's go back to the proteins. What are the different selections on that?
Plenty to choose from. We have salmon, steak, grilled chicken, fried chicken, turkey, tofu, bacon.
And I know, having eaten here a number of times, that even with respect to your salad dressings, you've got many, many choices.
Basically, there's 24 to choose from. They're fresh and homemade, and we pretty much covered it all. There's plenty to choose from. A lot of our customers like to even sample them and mix it up from visit to visit and try something different every time.
And you use the word fresh a lot. All the food here is prepared on site?
Absolutely. It's fresh. It gives you that really, homemade taste, and I think it goes a long way. It separates us from the competition.
And obviously, when you have a salad, you want something to quench your thirst. You have smoothies here as well.
Absolutely. We do smoothies, probably Paradise smoothie, which is a combination of apple, strawberries, banana with almond milk, which is healthier than regular milk, mixed with ice and yogurt, fat-free, and it's delicious.
Let's go back to your signature type salads. Why don't you go through some of the selections that consumers can pick here?
The most popular one is a Tex-Mex salad. It's grilled chicken and corns and beans, avocado, onion. That's probably the most popular one. It comes with an avocado ranch dressing, which is the most popular dressing for any of the salads. The other popular ones is a beet salad. It's called Feel the Beet. It's beets, walnuts, goat cheese, spring mix, balsamic vinaigrette. And a Thanksgiving salad, which is a turkey-based salad with apples and walnuts and cheddar cheese.
I love the one that you use your panko chicken in because I think that's just really delicious.
Absolutely. It's fried chicken. It's probably not the healthiest option, but I think it's okay once in a while to indulge and mix it up. And it's a panko fried chicken, so it's crunchy, and it's very popular with customers.
Well, when you talk about indulging, I kind of feel like I'm having a delicious salad that's healthy, getting the vegetables. So every now and then I can get that little extra fried food.
That's right. I mean, some people are maybe more disciplined with their diet than others, but for those that can't resist, I think it's okay just a little bit here and there, and that's what we do. We mix it up.
And for let's say a family comes in and some of the children maybe not ready for a salad, what can you offer them?
I was actually surprised when we opened. There's lots of kids who eat salad. It's something I wasn't really expecting. My two little ones don't do that, but kids come in here, they order salad. And but we also have sandwiches. We have turkey sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly and grilled cheese, which seems to be popular with the kids always.
Expand on sandwiches because it's not only for children.
Sandwiches we do, but we have 5 or 6 on the menu right now. The most popular is a turkey, avocado, and avocado BLT. It's on a thick slice whole grain bread with a chipotle mayo. The turkey is roasted here and sliced in-house, and people seem to really love it. It comes with homemade sweet potato chips also, or a choice of kale chips.
I know that you're conveniently located here in the Mid-State Mall, but many times people, whether they're at home in their offices, can't get out. Do you do delivery services?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We offer delivery on the weekdays during lunch hours, and we also do catering for large corporate events and what have you, private events, parties, etc.
And you've been here now a number of months. How have you found the response from the community?
Really well. People come in here say the first thing and the most, the thing I've heard the most is we never had anything like this in East Brunswick. It's about time. I've been saying for years we should have something like this in East Brunswick. So that always, made me feel good and confirmed that, I belong here and people seem to be embracing it like I would hope they would.
And why did you select East Brunswick, actually?
I just love the demographics. I love that, it was a perfect mix of residential and commercial, tons of gyms, and the college, Rutgers not being so far away. So it just sort of covered all of, a little bit of everybody and everything.
Besides smoothies, Bobby, what else? You do juices?
Our juices, fresh juicing is super popular. We have a combination of pineapple, cucumber with ginger and mint that we juice together freshly every few hours. The other popular one is a drinker greens. It's probably the healthiest option. It's broccoli and celery, an apple, kale juiced together, and people seem to really enjoy it, and they feel like it's a good pick-me-up after a workout especially.
Bobby, in creating a restaurant, there's always a theme to a restaurant, and in here you also have some beautiful art on the walls.
Well, I think the restaurant experience is as much as the food as it is just the dining room itself. So we worked with a designer to create a very colorful and light and energetic place where people can come in because, we're predominantly a lunch place. And so Art of Salad was inspired by a lot of the food art that I found online. And it's here on the walls, and we wanted that to reflect the attitude that we have about, healthy living and eating well and a healthy, energetic lifestyle.
That's fantastic. Let's just go through the basics. Your phone number here.
732-387-2666.
And your store hours.
We're open 7 days a week. We open the doors at 11 o'clock in the morning, and we're open as late as 9 p.m.
Well, that's fantastic. I know, having eaten here a number of times, food, as you said, is always fresh, delicious, no matter what I pick off the selection. And I'm glad that you're here in East Brunswick offering another healthy alternative to our residents. Again, as I always like to say, shop East Brunswick here. You've got a wonderful brand new eatery here in the Mid-State Mall. Come out and join Bobby and his staff for a delicious salad or a sandwich or a smoothie or juice here at the Art of the Salad. Again, thanks for watching.
On November 11, 1968, 1 week after Richard Nixon's election victory, by a margin of less than 1% of the popular vote, he received a tour of the living quarters of the White House by President Lyndon Johnson. Nixon was astonished to find an elaborate taping system and pledged to have it removed as one of his first acts as president. Johnson believed that a mistake and felt that the tapes were in place to protect the president from the many duplicitous people in government. That night he said to Nixon, quote, "I will warn you now, the leaks can kill you," end quote. Johnson later recalled with amazement that Nixon was dismissive of the idea. Such is the insight offered by my most recent favorite book, The President's Club. Written by Nancy Gibbs and Michael Duffy, this fascinating look at what the authors declare as America's most exclusive fraternity brings the reader inside the oftentimes tumultuous relationship between the outgoing and incoming most powerful man in the world. The club was initiated by Harry Truman after he took over following the death of Franklin Roosevelt in 1945. Roosevelt's death came at a time when the war in the Pacific still hung in the balance, and the nation began to fear a Soviet-dominated post-war Europe. Few Americans had faith in Truman, who had only been vice president for 1 year and had never graduated college. The shadow cast by the iconic Roosevelt was so immense that Truman sought advice from the only man alive who could truly comprehend the pressure associated with being the leader of the free world, Herbert Hoover. Since then, the club has become a mainstay, and the authors skillfully examine the oftentimes complicated relationships between its members. The book has no political slant and has been praised by the most liberal of Democrats as well as the most ardent conservatives. As you can see, I have passages flagged all across the book to share with my history teachers in the coming year so that our students can learn about the presidents in a way that no textbook can offer. For me, there can be no greater compliment of the quality of a book.
I'm Patrolman Craig Hoover. Welcome to another edition of Street Smart. In this edition, I'll be discussing Project Medicine Drop, sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs. Many of you may be familiar with the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Initiative, sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Agency, or DEA. In its first year of operation, this initiative netted 309 tons of prescription pills turned in by the public. Building on its success, a new program sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs called Project Medicine Drop was instituted in 2012. But it's important to know why. In the United States, over 40 people die every day from overdoses caused by prescription painkiller abuse, according to the U.S. Centers of Disease Control. Now, this number now accounts for more deaths in the U.S. than overdoses of heroin and cocaine combined, and it's increasing. Each day, 2,500 teens use prescription drugs to get high for the first time, according to the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Many of these drugs are simply obtained from family medicine cabinets or friends. Your son, daughter, niece, or nephew may even be one of them. The New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs developed Project Medicine Drop as an important component of its effort to halt the abuse and diversion of prescription drugs. It allows consumers to dispose of unused and expired medications anonymously, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, at prescription drug drop boxes located within the headquarters of participating police departments throughout New Jersey. Currently, East Brunswick Police Department is the only participating agency within Middlesex County. Each Project Medicine drop box is required to be installed indoors within view of law enforcement officers and in an area to which members of the public may be admitted to dispose of their unused medications. Their prominent Project Medicine Drop logos make the boxes highly visible and recognizable. The drop box in East Brunswick is located within the hallway of police headquarters and is accessible 24 hours a day. Participating police agencies are required to report the quantity of discarded drugs to the Division of Consumer Affairs on a quarterly basis. The drugs are then disposed of by the agency according to the New Jersey Attorney General's Office directives. Remember, for safety reasons, the Project Medicine drop boxes can only accept solid medications such as pills, patches, inhalers, and similar objects. The boxes cannot accept liquids, medical waste, or syringes. Consumers wishing to dispose of these objects should speak with their doctors or pharmacists to find the safest and best ways to dispose of them. It should also be noted that consumers may only dispose of legal prescription or over-the-counter medications. Anyone wishing to dispose of any illicit drugs should follow normal procedure of reporting it to their local police. For more information on Project Medicine Drop, go to www.njconsumeraffairs.gov/meddrop. That ends this edition of Street Smart. I'm Patrolman Craig Hoover of the East Brunswick Police Department. Remember to stay safe, and I'll see you next month.
It's a time of the season.
The British Invasion Tribute Band performs at the Community Arts Center for the East Brunswick Township's free summer movie and concert series on Saturday, August 16th.
Lee and I used to write songs together back in the late 80s, and then we decided that we would start performing together, and we started doing some classic rock. We brought on Jeff to play drums, and that's about 20 years ago. And then as time evolved, we thought we wanted to do something really special that the audience can respond to. So Lee and I came up with this idea of a British invasion tribute with the American response. And then we brought John on board, and John's been with us 10 years. So collectively, we've been together 10 years.
We emulate the whole era of the 60s, primarily the 60s British invasion. And we also do an American musical response, and then we end the show with a Beatle finale.
Is this your first time performing here?
No, it's our second time. We were here, I believe, 5 years ago in 2009.
That's right.
What do you like best about performing here?
We get to travel around the country for a living and play music that we love. This is a beautiful venue. I love the grass. We have a beautiful night here, and we're hoping to have a really good show tonight.
And what can the audience expect from tonight's show?
A really, really good time. We hear a lot that we bring memories back to people, that the music, the songs, the lyrics, the solos, everything that we do, a lot of people come up to us after the shows and thank us for bringing us back to a time when they were younger, when music was happy and jovial.
What do you hope the audience can take away from your performance?
A lot of good trips back in time into their own memories, because music is that type of force where you'll hear a song and it brings you back to a point in time that you remember. Most of the time it's good memories, and hopefully those are the kind of memories we bring to people.
We are always taking a look at songs that we've been playing for 5 or 6 years and picking out vocals that we never heard. We just worked out some new vocal harmonies in our Abbey Road medley that we had never heard before. We're now singing those 3-part instead of 4-part. We're always tweaking all of the songs. We rehearse all year round, even though we play 4, 5, 6 nights a week. We're always rehearsing, working on the material.
And what motivates you to continue playing music?
All of us, I think, have a shared passion. As kids, we saw the Beatles or saw a particular band and were just bitten by the music bug. And it's really hard to describe unless you've been bitten by something in your life that just strikes a chord, and all of a sudden you've got a passion for it, and you're going to stop at nothing to pursue it. And that's pretty much what we all have in common.
And for more information on your band, where can viewers go?
You go to www.thebritishInvasionTribute or facebook.com/The British Invasion Tribute. They can also call us, too. We do actually talk like the old days in 732-819-0363. Find out anything you need to find out about the band.
Is there anything else that any of you would like to add?
Yes.
I would just like to add that in going back to the question of what I enjoy the most, playing with these three lads. Couldn't be more of a finer experience. They're great.
For more information on upcoming community events, please visit eastbrunswick.org.
Break down.